Biden, in his term, pulled out of Afghanistan and pulled into Ukraine, Taiwan, and now Gaza, thereby starting wars with Russia, China, Iran, and basically the whole Middle East. And this guy knows he's gonna die. It's a suicide mission. He knows what he's doing. Biden's a straight up jihadi. That's what he is. Forget Al-Qaeda, Al-Biden, okay? That's BISIS right there. Osama bin Biden, that's what that is. And you know who's been silent this whole time? Kamala Hamas.
What is up, Free Life Squad? Welcome back to MFL. I'm your boy Sax. I'll be your host. We're going to cover up, we ain't going to cover up nothing, but we're going to cover a few of these things real quick that I find interesting, you know what I mean, for the next 20, 30 minutes. You know, a few of these YouTube shorts, some things like that. Getting a little political on this one. You know, I usually stay away from politics on this channel because I don't want my channel 86th, but I'm definitely into politics. So I just want to say thank you all for being back here. I appreciate you. Like, subscribe, you know, hit those comments, you know, leave some comments because you're all beautiful people and I love you.
The beautiful people, the beautiful people, the beautiful people, the beautiful people.
Did you know that you're being monetized since the day that you're born? This guy named Santos explains this.
You and I have been monetized, brother. You have been monetized through that instrument. You are money in the eyes of banksters. You know the banks pay $6 million for these from the hospitals, and you know how much they get turned around? These are securities on the stock market. You're making $6 billion by the time you retire for the Rothschilds, mate. They've got plenty of gold taps and champagne and caviar and cigars in their mansions, while a good portion of humanity are starving to death. And wars that the Rothschilds are perpetrating on the planet. All those wars, Syria, Afghanistan, Libya, that's all a crock of shit. That's all from families like the Rothschilds and the Salteri family who own Tenix, who are charging us tolls. There's only one family in this country that benefits from tollways, and that's the Salteri family.
And I hope y'all was paying attention because he's not lying about that. You know, from the day we're born with our birth certificates, all right, with that social security number. So if you're not hip to this, you don't already understand what's going on, is look up straw men because that's what we are. Not just men, but ladies as well, with that birth certificate. And we are a monetized product of the USA. Now, he's not from the USA, but it's still a Western society based on the same functions. You know, same thing, same ordeal. So I hope y'all paid attention to that because that's very, very, very real. And the more you learn about the law, which is why I'm so deep into constitutional law, because that's how you start figuring things out. Like, wait a minute, hold up. Wait, you can't do that. What? Wait, no. And then stand by your guns. You know what I'm saying? Stick by your guns. All right, let's move on to this next clip.
2023. State of Texas has taken federal immigration law into their own hands, and the Texas House has passed a controversial HB 4 bill today by 83 to 63, which would make it a criminal offense for undocumented immigrants to enter or be present in Texas illegally. The bill makes crossing into Texas illegally a Class B misdemeanor, and it also allows Texas law enforcement to arrest undocumented immigrants, and they could face a jail sentence of up to 6 months or pay a fine of $2,000. The state's officers would be permitted to return undocumented immigrants to a port of entry to be deported, and they can order undocumented immigrants to return across the border or face a second-degree felony if they don't comply. The bill will now go to the Texas Senate for voting, and if they pass it, it will go into effect on December 1st, 2023.
Hey, y'all, just one more reason why I love Texas. It's why I love being a Texan. It's why I love being here. You know what I mean? We done with the shenanigans. We done with the BS. All right? Let's get this country back. Let's keep it moving.
It's extremely difficult to tell a person nowadays, listen, money is not the most important in the world. Focus more on relationships, focus more on love, build up a community, go into the nature. This is the important part in life. I think to this realization, only somebody can come who had it already, who had the money, who has the fame, who has the reputation, who has the success, who had the car maybe, whatever. First you need to have it to realize that's not it.
So I agree and disagree with this dude. He's a little monk dude I be following, and he's got a lot of wisdom, a lot of really good insight on stuff. I really enjoy following his channel. However, I've never had it. You know what I mean? I've never had the money. Not like that. I've had what I thought was money a time or two. But the fact is, I ain't never had it. But his take on it is very good. You know, as far as talking about, you know, you got to understand, you got to have some contrast so you can understand what it means to not have it and realize, or to have it and realize how not important the money part is. Now, money's important, of course, obviously, but how it's very minuscule on the spectrum of things when it comes to life and happiness. I learned that without having to have money, right? But I still really like following this guy, and he's got a lot of really, really good insight and inspiration and positivity and just ways for you to get in your own head and think about things whenever you're trying to do some corrections in your own life to help you get on track. So anyway, that's why I put that in here. Let's keep this moving.
To realize that's not it.
The Republican frontrunner for president wants to bring Trump University to all Americans for free.
I'm announcing today we will take the billions and billions of dollars that we will collect by taxing, fining, and suing excessively large private university endowments, and we will then use that money to endow a new institution called the American Academy. Its mission will be to make a truly world-class education available to every American, free of charge, and do it without adding a single dime to the federal debt.
The libs are going to lose their minds, as will the libertarians, as will the Republican establishment, as will many fancy conservative movement types who went to brand name schools and fill their mahogany home libraries with many dusty books.
What an amazing plan, right? Why have we not already done that? You know what I'm saying? That's why, I don't know, I love me some Trump, all right? There's things about Trump I don't like as well, so don't get it twisted. But I like a lot more than I dislike. And as far as presidents go and as far as people that I want to rule our country that I think are really trying to take us on the right path, it's Trump all day, baby. All right, let's move on.
I called doctors in Wuhan and said, what are the biggest mistakes that you made on the first wave? This was early on. And they said, we put far too many people on intubated ventilators. So then I actually posted on Twitter at the time and said, hey, what I'm hearing from Wuhan is that they made a big mistake in putting people on intubated ventilators for an extended period. And that this is actually what is damaging the lungs, not COVID. It's the treatment. The cure is worse than the disease. And people yelled at me and said, I'm not a doctor. I'm like, yeah, but I do make spaceships with life support systems. What do you do?
I like that.
I twiddle knobs. I'm like, okay, great.
And I got so much hate at the beginning of that whole COVID, jab yourself thing, because I was like, oh, no. Ain't gonna happen. Not doing it. Not getting involved in that. No, sir. No, ma'am. Not gonna happen. But it's funny how even somebody like Elon got criticized whenever he's getting real information and putting it out there, you know what I mean? And then getting censored. That ought to let you know this government we under. As much as I love to be an American, and I am very proud American, absolutely. But our government, please. These people in power don't give a damn about you. They don't care about me. Stop fooling yourselves. All right? Start standing up for what you believe in and stick to it. And know what you believe in by believing it because you're doing some research and understanding for yourself, not just what you're being told. You know what I mean? Grow a brain. Let's go.
San Francisco, which in recent years has become a complete garbage heap. San Francisco, which is now riddled with, on the streets, human excrement and people lying out, dying potentially of exposure, shooting up, dying of overdoses when they're not dying of exposure. Just crime and filth filling the city, people fleeing what was once one of the most beautiful cities in the country. Newsom cleaned it all up. They cleaned up. We have before pictures, we got after pictures in San Francisco. And just look, wow, the camps are gone, the trash is gone, the bums have been shuffled off. It's all better. How did they do that? Well, it's all gone because Xi Jinping is coming to San Francisco. All it took to clean up one of America's once great cities was for a Chinese communist dictator come visit, and then the civil authority decides they're going to clean it up.
If that don't make your head twist, I don't know what will. All these trials and tribulations they've been going through in San Fran, you know, with all this homeless situation and all this, you know, just feces and drugs and crazy people all up and down the streets. Now, all the residents complained about it. All the businesses complained about it. Put in their petitions, did everything they could. Didn't matter. But whoa, hold up. The minute Xi Jinping, China, as communist as it gets, comes into town, oh, now all of a sudden we can do that. We can get that cleaned up, no problem. That ought to let you know something, y'all. Wake up if you still sleep.
When I was a kid, my parents told me a story about two communists that were talking to one another. One said, let me ask you, if you had two houses, would you give me one? And the other said, of course, you're my fellow communist. Of course I give you one. If you had two cars, would you give me one? Yeah, why are you even asking? Of course I give you one. If you had two chickens, would you give me one? No. Why not? Well, I have two chickens.
Yep, it turns out that communism stops where your wallet starts.
Oh my goodness, y'all, that's so real. Communism stops when your wallet starts. All right? When it comes to actually taking care of business and paying for stuff and working for stuff, working hard for stuff, trying to create, build, and not destroy, then it's a whole different ballgame. That joke was amazing. I loved it. I really liked that. All right. Moving on.
What, in your view, would happen if he were to be reelected? Oh, I can't even think that, because I think it would be the end of our country as we know it. People would get legitimately elected, and then they would try to do away with elections and do away with opposition and do away with a free press. And you could see it in countries where, well, Hitler was duly elected, right? And so all of a sudden, somebody with those tendencies, those dictatorial, authoritarian tendencies, would be like, oh, okay, we're going to shut this down. We're going to throw these people in jail. And they didn't usually telegraph that. Trump is telling us what he intends to do. We need to listen to Take him at his word.
Donald Trump's a man who knows how to get revenge. Be prepared.
Yeah, and that's real talk. It's so funny how Hillary is talking about all the stuff that she actually did, and is doing, and they are really worried about Trump getting in office. So what she's really saying is take him at his word, because when he said when he gets back in office, there's going to be some folks going to jail and need be going to jail, right? You know what I mean? All this child trafficking and everything else. Yeah. Don't buy into that craziness from Hillary for anything, because you already know that's crazy. And this next clip coming up, this Pizzagate stuff, don't even act like you don't know. And if you don't know, you need to get made aware, because they ain't talking about pizza here, y'all.
Donald Trump's a man who knows how to get revenge. Be prepared.
Why does everybody talk about Jennifer Aniston's pizza? Let me know your thoughts on this.
We've known each other for years. Yeah. You've been to my house. We've had pizza. Girl after my own heart. Do we love a pizza or what? We love a pizza. We do. It's so.
Aniston will say to me in the middle of the night whenever I'm with her, something cool. She'll be like, "You see?" And I'll be like, "No, you're right. This is great. This is great." She'll text me and say, "I know something. Wednesday night if you want." I'll be like, "Come on, we just did that Saturday thing."
She's busy all the time. I know she's the greatest host.
Parties are incredible at her house too.
Yeah, she does have good parties, and she makes good pizza as well.
She makes great pizza.
Wonderful pizza.
You told a story about going and having pizza at the Clooney's in Lake Como.
Yeah, that's all an Aniston.
Like, George and I would love you to come over for pizza, but
How was the pizza? Was it good?
What
Did he make it
Amal's
himself?
pizza was better than Clooney's. They
Yeah,
both made. Everybody made a certain kind of pizza.
There's no pizza we didn't love.
Something that he doesn't.
5 different kinds, or 6 different kinds of pizza that night. Clooney's was excellent.
Better than Clooney's. And you all know Clooney is on that. Starts with a P and ends with a O thing. So, yeah. All right. That was not talk about no pizza. All right. Get y'all information up. Definitely code for sure. This ain't no conspiracy theory, nothing. Pizzagate's real. It's a very real thing. All right. Pay attention to these people. They're demons. They're all demons, y'all. Straight up.
Warrior. He went famous because of how gay he was. They did some kind of documentary on him.
I like booty. Johnson went on to tell our crew how he used to satisfy his sexual desires, especially during the 1970s and 80s. I said, I'm telling you what, I like you, and I want you. All we can do is the easy way out of the hallway. Johnson even let the lockup crew know that when he was in his prime, they wouldn't be safe from his advances either. This is nothing that I'm ashamed to admit. I am what I am.
You are you are. Man, you coming to me like that? All right, man. I don't want no trouble. I'm gonna be in the shower later. I'm gonna bend over. Like this. Fuck! Ow, mama. But anyway, he's out of jail now.
Do you miss prison?
Old man guys.
Booty. That's what I miss.
It's a hashtag.
Booty. Because the first piece of sex I had was booty.
He said, I miss booty. Oh, I had to throw that in there for y'all. Let's go. Let's keep going.
Patty cake, I'm the baker's man. I bake them cakes as fast as I can. And you can tell by how my bread stack up. Then disguise it as rap so the feds back up. Watch it like my whip, like my chick topless. Doing $1.6 with me in the cockpit. Grinding cousin, I got 4 dozen, even 11.5. If I see you, keep it coming in my weight. That's just as heavy as my name. So much dough, I can't swear I won't change. Excuse me if my wealth got me full of myself. Cocky, something that I just can't help. Especially when them 20s is spinning like windmills. And the ice 32 below minus the wind chill. Filthy, the word that best defines me. I'm just grinding, man. Y'all never mind me.
That dude with Down syndrome killed that at the end. Grabbed his crotch and everything. He's like, I'm the boss. I'm the boss up in here.
Satan only knows so much. If he had really known the scripture and known the prophecy of the coming of the Son of Man and known who he was messing with, he would never have sent him to the cross, because it was at the cross that he sealed his doom. It was at the cross the Lord Jesus Christ made a show of Satan openly. It was at that cross that he stripped him of his power, because Satan brought everything he had against him. And the Lord Jesus Christ opened it all up and showed it to the demonic world. Now you've used everything you got nothing left.
All I got to say to that is, amen. Let's go.
What's going on out here? I don't even know how you do that. That's screaming snowbird right there. That gotta be a snowbird. Just because they got a Florida tag does not mean they from Florida, boy. Only in Florida. I'm just glad I got it on my flip phone.
Is this guy still even alive? He found out a way to save 56% on gas on his Ford Explorer.
Hi, my name is Grant, and this is a 1998 Ford Explorer Sport. Now, I'm not sure if you're familiar with Ford's Explorer line, but they have a reputation of being horrible gas guzzlers. I did something about it, and now I'm getting 56% better gas mileage, which translates to 56% savings in my pocket at the gas pump. How did I do it? My truck is now a water hybrid. check this out. Well, technically, it's a hydrogen on demand hybrid. What we have here is distilled water with 1 teaspoon of baking soda used as a catalyst. We tickle that water with 12 volts of electricity, and what it does is it separates the hydrogen from the oxygen. That gas is then sent into the combustion chamber, where I was formerly getting a 30% burn. That's right, in all of your gas vehicles, you only get a 30% fuel burn, which translates to 70% of your fuel, of your gas, comes out of your tailpipe.
So y'all, yeah, that's very real. I've already built a few of those hydrogen cells. So if you want the schematics on it, you want me to show you how to make those, I'll be more than happy to do that for you. I've been wanting to do a video on it, but that's how people become unalived. So I gotta continue to think on that one if I want to put a video out on that. But my information is in my bio. If you want to send me an email, I can show you how to make those hydrogen cells. It's not hard at all, and it's very efficient, and it's free. You can literally run your car off water, your lawnmower off water. You can't do like a weed eater or a chainsaw because it's 2-stroke. So that's not going to work. But your car, lawnmowers, things that's just burning off of regular petrol, I got you. I can show you how to do that. For sure. All right, let's keep it moving.
When he walked out of Madison Square Garden, it was fucking bananas. Really? It was, the whole place was cheering. He walks out to Kid Rock's American Badass with Kid Rock and Tucker Carlson walking in like the right-wing Avengers. And the place went nuts. I'm telling you, the fucking cheers of the crowd were nuts. I mean, it was overwhelmingly in support of him, and it lasted a long time. I mean, it was a roar. I mean, you had to hear what the crowd sounded like before he walked in, and then when he did. I mean, it was just overwhelming cheers for like over a minute. I mean, just imagine a minute of people screaming at the top of their lungs.
Stop trying to act like we ain't for Trump. We already know what you Democrats is doing. Quit playing. Quit playing.
Y'all told us if we don't want the kids, bring them to the fire station. I don't want the kid. Yes, it's been 3 days, but the baby don't look like my boyfriend. That's not his child. You think I'm finna get broken up with to let him know that this child is not his? No, ma'am. I love the baby. I do, but why y'all, everybody, like, I don't get what's going on. The baby is, it look Asian. The daddy is Chinese. My boyfriend is black. You get what I'm saying? No, I wasn't finna leave my man for that. So the baby had to come here. Are we good? Yes, ma'am. Let's start the interview. Should I cry? Like, should I act sad or something? To act like I care, like to give it emphasis, to make it look like I'm sad or something. Should I act like I care when it start? Come on. I really love my baby. What you mean it's live?
What you mean it's live? This chick just dumped her baby like it wasn't nothing, right? And then had the nerve to try to act like she gonna just propagate the fake news by asking the news crew if she's supposed to act like she's sad about dumping the baby, not even realizing she's live. There's a serious illness going on with our youth, and especially these young ladies, man. They out here just doing the most, expecting the most, but not trying to have no responsibility. This just makes me sad right here, watching this little video clip. That's just sickening. Absolutely sickening.
What you mean is live?
I'm old enough to remember a time where students had shotguns in the rifle rack in their pickup trucks, and that way when school got out, they went hunting. No mass shootings. The causation correlation is, okay, well, the gun equals the shooting. No. We need to look at why has there been such a diminishing of the value of human life? And then how do we properly address that culturally? And if the only way you can think of to properly address it culturally is to disarm people that did nothing wrong, then what you're ultimately telling them is that, one, you're going to provide for their security. Okay, well, the government has done a real bang-up job of making sure that happens. Two, you're not assuming any responsibility as the politician if they get hurt as a result of your policy. And three, what you're saying is that your rights and your civil liberties and your ability to defend yourself are reliant completely on whether or not somebody else abuses their rights. If your rights are forfeit the moment somebody else abuses theirs, you don't have any rights. What you have is privileges that the government will give to you and take away whenever they want. And that has horrible implications across the board for a free society.
I come from that time he's talking about. I had a rifle rack in the back of my Bronco. I had a shotgun and a long-range rifle on my rifle rack every day going to high school. Every day. Matter of fact, I talk about that. You watch my Jason Aldean reaction. I talk about me with my rifles, my guns in the back of my car going to high school because it wasn't a problem back then. It's not a problem now. The problem now is people's mental instability. All right? It ain't got nothing to do with the gun. Gun ain't nothing but a paperweight. It's the person behind the gun. That's all that matters.
If your rights are forfeit the moment somebody else abuses theirs, you don't have any rights. What you have is privileges that the government will give to you and take away whenever they want. And that has horrible implications across the board for a free society.
So I'll tell you a f***ed up Walmart story. Shit happens at Walmart. Doesn't matter what it is. File a lawsuit against Walmart, and we get documents showing that Walmart had taken a written statement from a police officer. Walmart blacked out the name of the police officer, blacked out the police officer's address, phone number, any contact information. What that means is that officer works for Walmart. You're not supposed to contact a company that you're suing's employees. You have to go through the company. That's totally fair. Come to find out, months later, that wasn't a Walmart security guard. That happened to be a police officer who was at Walmart shopping. Independent, unbiased witness. They give me a non-redacted copy so I can see his number. And I call him. Dude starts screaming at me.
I told you not to f***ing call me again.
I go, sir, my name's Mike Rafey. I represent the woman that was hurt that day at the Walmart. I've never called you before. And he goes, oh, I've been waiting for you to call. What we found out was that the Walmart lawyers had kept his information from us. And in the meantime, we're calling him over and over, trying to get him to change his written statement. We filed a motion for sanctions or penalties against Walmart. That case settled very, very quickly after that.
Pay attention, y'all. Like I told y'all a million times, these corporations, this big money, they all have interest, big interest on things, and they got that money to back it up. They don't care about the little people ever. You know what I mean? This woman got hurt at Walmart, and the Walmart attorneys did everything they could to shuffle that stuff out, put it to the side. You never know what you're dealing with. So, you know what I mean? Just always keep your faith, for sure. Number one, keep your faith strong with God, with Jesus. And aside of that, don't put no faith in the system because the system is BS, bro. It really is.
Walmart. That case settled very, very quickly after that.
Everybody else takes this country for granted.
My name's Simon. I'm from England, but I live in America. Love America, man. Fahrenheit? Oh my God. All these Europeans are like, why don't you just use the metric system? So much easier if you just use fractions, learn to divide. Why can't you just divide? Last time I checked, this is not the divided States of America. This is the United States of America! And we do things to 100 around here. Our biggest bill is 100. The yards in a football field are 100. We drive to 100. We heat up to 100. Our president is 100.
That was fantastic. When he hit our president is 100, I thought it couldn't get any better than the first part. So he said there are two kinds of countries, those that use the metric system and those who put men on the moon. But do we actually believe that still? Are we ready to have that discussion?
The moon landing was fake!
America might have lied. Somebody else said Americans by choice are the best Americans. They really are, because everybody else takes this country for granted.
You knew that the...
That cracked me up. I ain't even gonna lie. That was funny. Let's go.
You knew that the probability of us winning or turning it around was almost zero. Would you stop fighting? Would you stop fighting? That's what they need to know. They need to know that no matter what they do, no matter how much pressure, no matter how much comfort they try to take away, no matter if they try to deplatform you, if they take your job, if they put you in jail, no matter what they do, you're not stopping. I'm not going to tell the children of friends that I lost in combat I didn't do absolutely everything I could to make sure that their kids grew up in a country worthy of the sacrifice that they gave. I'm not doing it, and I want them to know I'm not doing it. I want them to know I'm coming back no matter what they do. Because when people have that mindset, one of two things happen. Either they win or their children do.
When it comes to President Donald Trump, a lot of people accuse this man of being a racist. I too was one of the ones that said, no, I don't want to go talk to that man. He hates black people. That's what they said. But I had a story. I wasn't going to be worried about emotions. I was going to go in with my story and see if I could make a difference. Many of you may or may not know that I served time in a Georgia State prison. And while I was serving time in that prison, I was pregnant. I was transported to a hospital here in Georgia by a police officer, and I was chained to a bed, and I was forced to give birth to my baby with a sheriff watching for a nonviolent crime. I found myself sitting in front of President Trump in the Oval Office, and I shared my story. Just so happened that he heard my story. Not only did he pass the First Step Act, overturning the '94 crime bill that massively incarcerated Black America, freeing nearly 20,000 people to this day. He also made it illegal for them to chain women to the bed during their childbirth. This white man that they told me was a racist.
Yeah, y'all, stop with all that Trump racist stuff, because it's shenanigans and it's bullcrap. But anyway, that's just a little piece of my mind, something I want to throw out there to y'all, you know, so you can see the kind of things that I like venturing off into, you know, viewing, watching, do a little reactions too. But I love y'all. I'm Sax. If you have not subscribed, hit subscribe, hit the like button. Please leave a comment. I don't care what the comment is. I don't care if it just says, hey, Sax, what up? That all helps push these little channels like mine. But between now and then, peace, y'all. I love ya. See y'all on the next one. Happy Monday.